Well, hey guys, good morning. Hold on, let me pause the music here for just a bit. A little Steely Dan this morning to kind of get the day moving, right? Guys, what's going on out there today? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Hope you're having a great start to the day. At least out here in the West Coast, we're just getting cracking. You guys in the East Coast been at it for a few hours. But anyway, hope everyone's having a great day so far. I got a fun little topic this morning that I want to get to. Got a couple things first. I want to announce though. Number one, today at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, I've got Phil Landauer, the great Phil Landauer. We're to do a live broadcast here, Facebook and YouTube, and Phil's going to talk about a couple of his stories from his time with Dennis Ralston. As you probably know, we lost Dennis, unfortunately, recently, and I had Tony Dawson on recently as well, and he shared some great stories, and we got Phil today at noon to also share some great stories. So if you've got time today, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, carve out 20, 30 minutes, and Phil is just a great storyteller, one of the all-time great guys on the senior tour, and a legend in terms of 41 national gold balls in both singles and doubles. I think he's been inducted into 3 halls of fame. I don't know. That sounds like he might know what he's doing out there in the court. Anyway, so we got that going today. And then the other thing is, one of the things that I do throughout the day is kind of like my day is built around, I want to get a great night's sleep tonight, right? And I actually jotted them down today. There's actually 7 steps that I go throughout the day to make sure that I get a great night's sleep in. And step number 3 here for me is no inflammatory foods, and that's a whole big topic all to itself. But things like wheat, the processed wheat we've got right now in this day and age is just horrible. But anyway, look, I got 7 steps. If you want me, I got a little list here, and if you want me to shoot you the list, I'm more than happy to do that. Just go ahead and reach out. You can direct message me or shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com, and happy to give you this list of what I do throughout the day to get a great night's sleep, because we all know how important that is, not only for physical health, mental health, all that good stuff. But so yeah, Brent's magical 7 steps. I don't know, they work for me. Anyway, guys, what I want to talk about today is, I kind of think is like the ultimate goal of what we really want to be doing out there when we're playing tennis. And if you're a competitive player, and competitive meaning, look, I mean, everyone's competitive, right? Very few players are going out there and just working the ball around the court in kind of a drill session. I know some guys who do that, and look, that's fine. I got a lot of respect for them. They don't really enjoy competition, and that's cool. For they want to go out there. It's a sort of a fitness opportunity, and they just want to work the ball around with their friend. And I got no problem with that. But if you're like me at all in terms of being a competitive player, and you're either playing practice matches, singles and doubles, maybe you're playing the league stuff, or like me, you're playing a lot of tournaments. And I mean, the ultimate goal is you want to win. Obviously, we know that. But it's kind of like, how do we get there on those days where everything just kind of falls into place? And for me, that's obviously the most satisfying way to win, is not where I'm thinking, well, I'm kicking this guy's butt. I used to kind of think like that, and I never had the opportunity where I was really actually doing that. But to me now, it's more, can I get that feeling? I don't want to get too Berkeley ooey gooey, wooey on you here, but kind of like where the game is kind of flowing on that day. And sometimes we get that against, a lesser skilled opponent than we are, and it's easier to do that. But, against a top player, or someone who's right at our level, or someone who's a little bit above our level, how do we get that feeling, right, in terms of trying to just let the game come to us, where we're not forcing everything, even though we've got clarity and we may have a strategy in mind on that day, but we don't feel like we're fighting the game of tennis. And specifically, we're not fighting the ball. And you know what that feels like, because you've hit lots, in your playing career, you've hit probably thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of that shot where you get that feeling. And look, the best way I could kind of tell you what that feeling is, because never been accused of being the sharpest tool in the shed, a real smarty pants type of guy, not me. I got 3 kids, and they're all just, just probably like yours, just smart as a whip, right? I always tell them, look, you didn't get that from my side maybe from my side of the family, but not from me. Anyway, so when you're receiving serve, you're returning serve, and the opponent just bombs one first serve, and it's right there in your strike zone, and the ball, the serve misses by a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit, but it's clearly out, right? You're not having to kind of wait to the last second to see if it's going to be good and you play it back. But anyway, it's clearly out, and you get that feeling of just complete and utter swing freedom, where obviously the result doesn't matter, because the serve is out, you're calling it out, your opponent has no question whether it's in or out, and you just kind of clean the ball away from you, and it's just the timing is perfect, the swing is so unencumbered, and the head stays down, and you don't peek and look up early because you're concerned about whether you're making the shot or not during the point. But that feeling. And look, everyone I ever ask this question to, have you ever experienced that? And everyone goes, of course. And so that's the feeling that I try to recreate in my game, right? So when I'm playing points, look, I mean, if I get a short ball in, I want to play, a standard slice up the line approach. I want to see if I can't recreate that feeling. And I think too often what happens is when we're lining up to play a shot, we got so much garbage rattling around in our head from, hey, it's 40-30 and I got to win this point. And if I win this point, now I'm up whatever. And if I'm up whatever, then I'm ahead, and maybe and all this stuff. Or like, hey man, don't miss. I mean, there's so much garbage thinking going on that doesn't happen when that server bombs a big first serve at you and misses it by a solid 18 inches, and you just kind of sweep it away. And so can you go out there today or the next time you're on the court, and can you recreate that feeling? It's a feeling. Don't think about technique. Don't try to do anything more than just recreate the feeling. And you know how it goes. I mean, the guy hits a big bomber first serve, you clean it away like, now all of a sudden, if you're a 4-5 guy, now all of a sudden you're 7-0, right? You've just gone from a club level 4-5, very strong level, but now you just cleaned away that first serve that was deep up to like, world-class stuff. And so there's a feeling to that you've got to try to identify, rather than thinking, well, let me take it back and let me dissect it to what are the individual technical parts that happened. Forget that. Just recreate the feeling. And then what happens, of course, the guy throws in a crappy little second serve, and you can you're just tighter than a drum and barely get that second serve back in play. So that's kind of the message for today is get out there and look, it's, if you know what that feeling is, great. That's how you ought to be playing, right? I mean, obviously we've got some intentionality in terms of shot choice, where we want the ball to land over there, and then court position, where do we want to move to next? But there's got to be a feeling in the swing that is got what I call a swing freedom. It's like this unencumbered. I don't even consider that there's a baseline over there. Obviously, I'm going to hit the ball above the white line as if we're hitting the ball. I mean, when we go out in the backboard, we go out in the wall, what do? right? We just hit the ball above that white line that's painted on the backboard of the wall. And we don't really even consider if the ball is going out. I mean, there's no worry. There's no, I'm kind of missing the word right now, but we're not restricted thinking wise to go, well, this swing better not hit the ball out. And yet on the wall, we have swing freedom, total swing freedom. As I'm talking about this, I'm reminded of a story back when I was teaching tennis at the Royal Biscayne Hotel in Key Biscayne, Florida. And this was back in the mid 70s. And at the time for me, it was a dream job. Oh my God. I mean, Key Biscayne, Florida, there are times during the year, especially in the fall, winter, and spring, where the weather is like perfect. Summers were a little rough, but there's this one day, and there were a lot of great touring pros at that time who would come down to the Key, and there were some players, and they would work out. One day, I'm out there and I'm watching Jaime Field from the great Chilean player, and he's out there and he's just working. He's just drilling with someone. I can't remember. For some reason, Cliff Drysdale comes up. Anyway, but I'm watching him, and I'm outside the fence, and I'm right on his baseline, looking down the baseline, and I'm not watching the ball that he hits, but all I'm watching is a swing, both forehand and backhand, and there was this unencumbered through the ball and out towards the target, or out towards over the net and out towards down the court. And I'm just thinking, this guy doesn't even consider that there's a baseline over there. There was this long flowing through the ball, and then the swing kept going forward. And yeah, eventually it would finish back. And I just thought, wow. I mean, and I already had known what that feeling was when the guy missed the first serve deep, and I just went through it and like, no big deal. I'm just thinking, he's doing that and on every ball that he gets. So kind of rambling on here, but I look, if I could articulate what that feeling is to you, I would, but I can't. And so go out there, and the next time, and this is the time when it happens to me the most, is when that guy misses the first serve. It's a foot, 12, 18 inches deep, and you just clean it off the table like no big deal. You've just taken your skill level up about 3 different rating labels, right? And just kind of try to remember that feeling. Again, don't try to dissect it and pick it apart technique-wise. Just remember that feeling and see if you can't recreate that feeling once especially on the second serve, on that next serve coming in, if you can't do that. So, boom, that's it. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Again, a couple things. I got Phil Landauer today at high noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. And I think I also mentioned, I'm looking down here, this little, my 7 steps to a good night's sleep, which, by the way, a lousy night's sleep, not great. I mean, we all have it from time to time. That's fine. But I think sometimes I go through my day thinking, hey, I'm doing all the right stuff today to get a great night's sleep tonight. And anyway, so if you want my list of 7 steps, just hit me up, direct message me. You can just leave a comment if you want, or shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. All right, guys, that's it for me. Got the big O this morning along with my buddy Jerry from Northern California, a little romp on the grass around 9:15 this morning. Oh boy, it is looking like it could be Mother Nature got a good night's sleep last night. I don't know. Maybe she gets a great night's sleep every night. Guys, with that said, of course, you got to get out there today and help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I'll see you again tomorrow.